Philadelphia Experiment. Boat that teleported and traveled in time with gruesome consequences. In the midst of World War II, an American battleship tested a technology designed by Einstein himself and managed to become invisible and teleport. This is what some conspiracy theorists say. This is the true story of the USS Eldridge, the ship that traveled in time. The legend of the Project Rainbow. What is popularly known as the Philadelphia Experiment alludes to an alleged dark program of the U.S. Navy called Project Rainbow. Urban legend says the military was testing a generator of electromagnetic fields with which they sought to find practical applications to the unified field theory proposed by Albert Einstein. In simple words, they were trying to achieve invisibility. Private technicians who did not know what they were installing were provided with 2 power generators, dozens of meters of electrical cable around the hull, and other complex electronic devices on the USS Eldridge, a 93-meter-long battleship. On July 22, 1943, the first supposed experiment took place. The generators activated an electromagnetic field that made the battleship disappear from sight for a few minutes surrounded by a greenish fog. Some sailors complained of strong nausea caused by the test. The equipment was readjusted and the second test took place on October 28. This time, the whole ship completely disappeared and appeared at the Navy base in Norfolk, 600 kilometers away and 15 minutes in the past. The ship was sighted there for some time. After that, it disappeared again in the middle of Blue Lightning and reappeared in Philadelphia. Official statements of the Navy regarding the Philadelphia experiment. According to urban legend, the consequences of this second experiment were so devastating for the crew that the Navy decided to cancel the project. Most of the sailors developed schizophrenia and some completely lost their judgment. Many were seriously injured as they materialized, and others, less fortunate, fused horribly with the ship's hull. Some vanished days after the experiment and never reappeared. This is, roughly speaking, the truculent history perpetuated by conspiracy theorists, ufologists, and some science fiction films. The Navy has always denied the existence of the Philadelphia experiment. In a statement released in November 2000, the Navy's Office of Naval Research, ONR, completely denied the existence of any invisibility or teleportation program, as well as Einstein's involvement. In a summary of the note published by Naval History and Heritage, it is said, "The Office of Naval Research, ONR, has already explained that the use of force fields to make a ship and its crew invisible does not conform to the known laws of physics." The ONR also asserts that Dr. Albert Einstein's unified field theory has never been completed. Between 1943 and 1944, Einstein worked as a part-time consultant for the Navy in the theoretical investigation of explosives and explosions. There is no evidence that Einstein worked on anything related to invisibility or teleportation. Indeed, unified field theory was a concept coined by Einstein when he attempted to explain the gravitational field and the electromagnetic field by a single unified theory. He never succeeded, but many do not care that the laws of physics overturn a good story. The letters of Carlos Allende. How did the Philadelphia experiment come to light? The answer is through a series of letters sent by Carl Meredith Allen under the pseudonym of Carlos Miguel Allende. Supposedly, Allen was a merchant seaman who saw the USS Eldridge disappear from his own ship, SS Andrew Forsyth. With somewhat peculiar prose and abundant spelling mistakes, Allen described the supposed experiment of teleportation in a correspondence maintained with the writer and ufologist Morris Jessup. Although the sailor never provided any reliable proof of what he was saying, Jessup was fascinated by the tale and included it in a book titled The Case for the UFO. Jessup failed to repeat the moderate success of this book and committed suicide 4 years later. The circumstances surrounding his death further fueled the theory that the experiment existed and that the government has since tried to cover it up. The urban legend of the Philadelphia experiment had been officially born. The truth about the Philadelphia experiment. The Philadelphia experiment is a complicated hodgepodge of Allen's feverish imagination, Jessup's credulity, real facts, and gossip about sailors. The first thing that does not agree is the dates. He officially entered service at the shipyard of New York on August 27, 1943. What is certain is that, in the 1940s, the U.S. Navy experimented with invisibility. The technique was called degaussing, and its aim was to reduce the magnetic field of the ship to avoid that it was an easy target for the mines and magnetic torpedoes used in the Nazi submarines. As Edward Dudgeon, one of the sailors aboard the USS Eldridge, explains, the degaussing system was installed by outside contractors. On January 15, 1951, the USS Elridge was transferred to Greece, where it served under the name of Leon. The most fanciful prefer to believe that the U.S. Navy managed in delusional pseudo-scientific combo invisibility, teleportation, and time travel, but decided not to move forward because some sailors died.